at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
Telly, so glad you're with us.
It's good to be here, and it's Friday. That's
I know.
A double win.
Exactly, but we're under that tornado watch for all of southeastern Wisconsin
yeah.
until 8 o'clock tonight. Yes, it's Groundhog's Day all over again. That starts out our number one story in the 3 at 3.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's afternoon news.
This is what the National Weather Service is telling us, Telly, all amidst the fact that Milwaukee alone has gotten nearly 8 inches of rain so far this month. That's a 200% over the national, or the normal average. Wow. Not the national, our normal average, 200%. So I just spoke to WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. He's forecasting things will begin this hour and end at 9 o'clock tonight. So he's forecasting an extra hour of troubles. Our western counties will see the impacts first, and Milwaukee and the lakeshore areas getting hit harder in that time frame, he predicts. And he says we're dealing with scattered to severe storms that could produce damage, the possibility of more widespread severe weather, including damaging winds and even tornadoes. He also just texted me just now, a few tornadoes likely, with a couple intense tornadoes possible, widespread large hail and isolated very large hail events to 3.5 inches in diameter likely, scattered and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour likely. Woo! And very moist and unstable air mass exists, which is making him very worried about the situation tonight.
Gosh.
So keep it here. You can always download our WTMJ mobile app. You get notifications. Then you can listen live wherever you are. Number 2, Telly.
Number 2. Now, several airlines recently have started cutting the amount of flights and raising bag fees due to rising fuel prices as a result of the war in Iran. But Delta Airlines is bucking that trend. Delta is not only adding flights to Wisconsin, but nonstop flights. But Julia, here's the kicker. Delta is not adding those flights to Milwaukee's General Mitchell Airport.
Right.
Those flights, Delta announced the increase in nonstop flights to Green Bay because in anticipation for the primetime matchup of Wisconsin and Notre Dame at Lambeau Field this September. Delta says it's anticipating travel demand from New York and Washington to attend the game, so it's adding nonstop flights from LaGuardia and Reagan National Airports, respectively, on Saturday, September 5th, and returning flights on Monday, September 7th. Why is September 7th important? Not just because it's my birthday or anything, but that is amazing to me that you are going to increase that. So they're expecting so many people. And the thing that's amazing to me is these are 2 Midwestern schools.
Right.
It's Wisconsin and Notre Dame.
That's a
Indiana,
really good point.
Wisconsin.
Right.
Why are you having so many people, or you're anticipating so many fans coming from New York and Washington that you felt the need to add flights when I'm trying to fly from Milwaukee to St. Louis and I have a layover in Chicago?
Yeah, right. That's fantastic.
That's it, yeah. So I thought it was cool until it started to fire me up when I remembered that you got to have a stupid layover if you're trying to get to Detroit, that you got to go and sit in Chicago for an hour to get to Detroit, and it's going to only take you 30 minutes in the air to get there.
Oh, don't get me started with that. I had to do that one time.
Oh, I've done it more than once, and it has really upsetted me. So before I get even more upset, go ahead and go to number 3, Julia.
Number 3, Telly. Wednesday was tax day. Got it done. The chance of being audited has dropped sharply in the past decade. It's the lowest it's ever been, actually, since the 1950s. That's according to a New York Times analysis on IRS data. The percent of personal income tax that are audited, you might ask? Less than 1%.
What?
Yeah, 0.36%, less than 0.5%. So you have a better chance of predicting a coin toss 8 times in a row than being audited. But the wealthiest earners, so if you make $5 million or more, have an 11% chance of being audited. There you go.
Well, I've been audited, and I'm not in that 11%. So,
Oh, the worst.
yeah.
It's 3:15 on WTMJ. Debbie's taking a look at your roads, making sure to keep an eye on the roads in case there's any floods as well. We are also keeping an eye on the weather. That's next.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on April 28th.
Uh-oh. Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Tune in April 28th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts. Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano,
Concerns that we'll see big flooding on the streets of Milwaukee once again.
Eric Bilstad,
We're following some breaking news from overseas. The U.S. says the Strait of Hormuz is, quote, completely open.
and traffic with Debbie Lozica.
Looks like it's closed in both directions, Capitol Drive is, between Calhoun and Pilgrim
The
Road.
news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law fights for those who fought for us. If you're a vet and have been wrongfully denied the VA benefits you're entitled to, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Lozica, how are the roads right now?
We've got delays along southbound 43 from just before Capitol Drive, pretty much stretching all the way down through the Marquette. More delays from Beecher all the way towards the KK River crossing. On southbound 41, slowing down just before the county line down to Appleton Avenue. Northbound is delayed from Mayfair Road up to, all the way up to Appleton Avenue, so it's going to be a slow one there. We also have that flooding with 241 or 27th Street closed between Elm Road and the West Frontage Road, just west of 94 in southern Milwaukee County. That's all because of the flooding that's happened down there. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until tomorrow morning. We're also under a tornado watch at this time until 8 o'clock tonight. Meteorologist Craig Copleen says he expects it to last through 9 o'clock. We also have meteorologist Brian Isnansky joining us in less than a half hour from now. Tonight, we have those storms. There's chances for tornadoes, large hail. Please be weather aware. Wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour, a low of 42. Tomorrow, the rain comes to an end, mostly sunny, a high of 50. Still have those wind gusts, pretty windy out there, of 25 miles an hour. Then on Sunday, it's mostly sunny and cool, a high of 47. Sunny for your Monday, a high of 60. Tuesday, cloudy, a high of 68 degrees. Right now, Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 60 degrees. 3:18 on WTMJ. Kelly, imagine walking through a parking lot and it's kind of soaking, and you look down and you see a massive fish swimming right past you. That's exactly what happened in Outagamie County after severe storms and heavy rain flooded areas near the Wolf River there. Sturgeon, normally found in the river, right? Especially during spawning season, we're seeing gliding through the high water in a parking lot. And the Wolf River is usually a popular place to watch them. But right now, the water levels are so dangerously high, officials say it's too risky to even monitor the sturgeon spawn. So there's some who are even riskier during these storms tonight. Storm chasers and storm spotters. You've heard the names, but do you know the difference? The behind-the-scenes teamwork that turns a radar blip into a confirmed tornado warning, coming up with Debbie Lozica.
Prizes, flyaways, even Cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. So excited to tell you about this, about what my husband and I are doing, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Summer of next year. If you're anything like me, you've always been a little bit obsessed with the Royals, the traditions, the secrets, the history behind those palace walls. Now imagine this. You're standing in London with us, watching the changing of the guard in person. You step inside and come face to face with the crown jewels. And later you're sitting down for a proper afternoon high tea, soaking in it all. That is exactly what we're doing with the British Crown Experience with Fox World Travel and Inside Vacations. We're not just visiting England next summer, we're stepping into its story, walking through the Oxford's centuries-old halls, standing in awe at Stonehenge, experiencing royal history as it actually happened. And here's the thing, trips like these don't come around often. I actually am working with Rose Gray for the past 6 months behind the scenes. She was emailing me, what about this? What about this? So we curated it just for you, and spots go quickly. So it's ever been on your bucket list? Don't wait. Visit foxworldtravel.com. That's foxworldtravel.com. Or call 866-GO-FOX-GO, 866-GO-FOX-GO right now to reserve your spot, because this is not just a vacation. It is your chance to live the royal experience, and I would love for you to be a part of it. 866-GO-FOX-GO.
What do you want retirement to look like? Hi, I'm Tony Drake, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Drake & Associates right here in Wisconsin. For some people, retirement means travel and new adventures. For others, it means spending more time with family or pursuing passions they never had time for before. But turning those goals into a reality takes thoughtful planning. It's not just about saving money. It's about designing an income strategy that supports the life you want while helping your savings last throughout retirement. At Drake & Associates, we help Wisconsin families connect their financial plan with their lifestyle goals, building strategies designed to help support both today's needs and tomorrow's opportunities. My complimentary retirement toolkit can help you begin that process. It includes my book, Get Retirement Ready, and 5 guides covering income planning, taxes, and retirement strategies. Call 414-897-9522 or text the word tax to 414-897-9522 for your no-cost toolkit. That's 414-897-9522 or text the word tax to 414-897-9522. Because retirement planning isn't just about numbers, it's about the life those numbers support.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
We are keeping an eye to the sky. We have our meteorologist joining us, including Brian Niznansky at 3:36, Craig Copeland at 4:36. He'll join us again right before we get into Brewers coverage. So when you get the notification that there is a tornado watch, including right now until 8 o'clock tonight, there's a lot that's already happened behind the scenes. Meteorologists reading radar, and there's also storm chasers getting ready for what may happen on the ground, a train spotter calling in damage from a road nobody else is on. And today we break down who's doing what and why it matters.
Thunder, a rotating wall cloud, a greenish, eerie stillness, and then the sirens. And somewhere out on a 2-lane road is someone driving towards the storm on purpose. Severe weather season is here, and the people tracking these storms from the ground are more organized and more important than you might think. TMJ4's Brian Niznansky says, despite what you might think, chasers and spotters are more alike than they are different.
Both a storm chaser and a storm spotter
our eyes on the storm, that meteorologists like myself that could be sitting in a studio, or National Weather Service meteorologists that are in their office, their actual eyes on a storm that can give confirmation of something actually happening.
But there is a distinction. Storm spotters go through official training with the National Weather Service, and Niznansky says that label means something specific.
The biggest differentiator is a storm spotter is going to go through a storm spotter training that is through the National Weather Service. That storm spotter label is specific to that.
Storm chasers, on the other hand, tend to range farther. Scott Weber-Paul is an independent storm chaser out of Wisconsin, and he's been doing this for more than 2 decades.
Spotters are generally folks who will stay within a specific radius of home, say 10, 20 miles, and will simply report, to the National Weather Service, local TV stations, etc., what the weather is at their specific location.
So why do we still need human eyes out there? Niznansky says radar has its limits.
It makes it a lot easier to confirm a tornado if you have definite eyes on it. But if no one saw it and you just have a bunch of tree damage, sometimes it can be difficult to say this was a tornado or it wasn't.
That ground truth, as chasers call it, can mean the difference between a vague radar alert and a confirmed urgent warning. Obviously, chasing isn't without its hazards, and Weber-Paul knows that personally. On August 18th, 2005, the day an EF3 tornado hit Stoughton, he found himself in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I was driving south on Highway 12, trying to get out of the rain and hail and precip part of the storm, and I inadvertently drove almost right into the tornado itself. Probably got into some 90 to 100 mile an hour winds on the northern periphery of the tornado. I'm 45 years old. I've got 3 kids. I've got a wife, and those are all things I have to keep in my mind and tell myself that, this is kind of my limit right here.
Niznansky says sometimes the most valuable call is the all clear.
And you know what? If that tornado isn't touching down, that's just as valuable too. Because one of the last things we like to do is give the same weight to a tornado warning when you have a scenario where there might be a tornado, we're kind of seeing something on radar, but we have confirmation that nothing is touching down, versus, oh my goodness, there is a tornado on the ground and it's heading for Fort Atkinson.
Storm spotter training sessions are happening across southeast Wisconsin over the next several weeks. Anyone can participate. For dates and locations near you, check with the National Weather Service, and we've got you covered with the link on WTMJ.com. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
3:27 on WTMJ. I'm just getting this into our newsroom from the National Weather Service. Tim Hallbach tells us that they are canceling the tornado warning as it's lost a bit of its rotation, seems to be weakening. 2 main storms we're keeping an eye on is near Portage and northwest Dane County, which the one in northwest Dane County could head towards us. So we're keeping an eye on it. Time for news about your money and your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. With the Strait of Hormuz reopened and President Donald Trump signaling swift progress with U.S.-Iran talks, the Dow leaps. It was up more than 1.75%, up 868 on the day, ending at 49,447. NASDAQ was up 365, S&P 500 up 84. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Your financial life is not just about numbers. It is a journey, and Annex Wealth Management aims to help you move through it with clarity. When markets shift, it can be hard to understand what it means for what you have built. Annex offers guidance as a fee-only fiduciary firm, which means their recommendations are built around your best interests rather than commissions or product sales. Annex gives you access to a local team that includes wealth managers, financial planners, investment managers, estate planning attorneys, and client service specialists who work together to create a strategy tailored to your situation. They help clients with investment management, retirement income, planning, tax coordination, estate planning, education funding, and business succession strategies. Annex knows there's different financial plans for different stages of life, and they can help you adjust as things change. With nationwide accessibility, Annex blends personal attention with leading-edge tools to offer an experience built around informed decision-making. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It is 3:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour: strong storms headed our way.
I'm Telly Hughes. The search continues for a missing Michigan woman in the Bahamas.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got delays along southbound 41, pretty much starting from Highway 145 all the way down past Appleton Avenue. Northbound's going to be slow from before Mayfair Road and stretching all the way up to Appleton Avenue. Southbound on 43, backing up from the Green Bay Avenue off-ramp all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound side, not too bad, just slowing down a little bit right past Locust. Eastbound 94 is heavy from about 84th Street all the way through to 35th. Westbound from 27th Street to Holly Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
A flood warning in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until tomorrow morning. Tonight, showers and storms, very cloudy. There's a chance of 3.5-inch diameter hail, a low of 42. The tornado warning that was going on that we had in Sauk County has lost its rotation, seems to be weakening, and there's 2 storms they're keeping an eye on in Portage and Northwest Dane County right now as we speak. We're still under a tornado watch at this time. It is still in effect. Tomorrow, rain ends mostly sunny, a high of 50, wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, tracking 2 rounds of storms coming through. The first is just starting in our area. WTMJ meteorologist Jacob Matasano tells Wisconsin's Midday News he's timing out what the second round of storms look like.
Once we get to around 8 to 9 p.m., that first line of severe storms will clear out of the region, but we're still going to see some lingering showers and isolated, mostly non-severe thunderstorms at that point. That will last until about 3 a.m., so some additional rain showers will continue throughout the night. Thankfully, the severe weather risk will mostly be between 4 and 8 p.m.
TMJ4 meteorologist Brian Isnansky joins us coming up after the news.
The Kenosha Water Utility released diluted wastewater into the sewer system. This water eventually ends up in Lake Michigan. The city made the move Wednesday morning after nearly 3 inches of rain over 2 days overwhelmed the system. The utility says the release helped prevent water from backing up into homes. They also notified the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources of the wastewater release.
Milwaukee's Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky was reappointed unanimously.
Lipsky received endless praise from the Fire and Police Commission.
You've got sort of, I'm going to cut through red tape with a machete kind of vibes, right? Like you're just like, I'm not going to take no for an answer when it's something that the people need.
It's like we love you, not just because you're a good fire chief, not because you're a great fire chief, because you're a great person.
The chief gets another 4-year term with an annual salary of $245,000.
This is my life's calling, and my life's calling isn't just to be a firefighter, it is to be a Milwaukee firefighter.
Jen Gregg, WTMJ News.
The daughter of the American tourist whose husband says fell overboard in the Bahamas nearly 2 weeks ago is now on the island herself. More from ABC's Victor Okendo.
Harley Aylesworth, the stepdaughter of Brian Hooker, arriving in the Bahamas alongside her boyfriend Steve to help with the search for her missing mother, Lynette.
We were also wondering and asking why Brian left after he said, hey, I'm going to stay here until I find my wife.
The couple admitting they were surprised to learn Brian left the Bahamas less than 48 hours after being released from custody. But according to his attorney and family, Hooker left the Bahamas to care for his mother in Sacramento.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force says the search for the 55-year-old woman remains active.
President Donald Trump's top immigration and customs enforcement official Todd Lyons has resigned as acting director. News Nation's Allie Bradley has reactions from agents.
Officers that I talked to, they say that they're disappointed in the move, but they're not necessarily shocked. So these are from sources here saying, quote, wow, this is not welcome news, but I understand what the pressure he was facing, that he would want to make a move. Lastly, I am surprised he hasn't left already. We were told he was leaving in the fall because of threats against his family and stress. Now, it's unclear who is going to be tapped to replace Todd Lyons when he leaves at the end of May.
His resignation comes after Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin took over Kristi Noem's agency last month.
Contradictions coming from President Trump and Iran's foreign minister on what a peace deal looks like.
President Trump told CBS News Iran has agreed to stop enriching uranium forever and that the U.S. and Iran would work together to remove Iran's enriched uranium, adding the U.S. will take it. Iran's foreign minister says that enriched uranium would not be transferred and that Iran has not agreed to hand it over. Earlier, Iran said passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz has been declared completely open, but President Trump posted the U.S. naval blockade on Iranian ships and ports will remain in full force until the peace deal is done. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
As NASA prepares for next year's planned launch of Artemis 3 into low Earth orbit, the crew of Artemis 2 is reflecting on its just completed trip around the moon.
And liftoff. For good reason, the public marvels at every launch of a massive rocket.
What people might not know is that re-entry is at least 10 times wilder of an experience.
Artemis 2 crew member Christina Cook should know.
The fireball that we were in got so bright that it was like an arc welder. You almost couldn't even look at it.
The astronauts for NASA's next crewed mission, Artemis 3, have not yet been named. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. General Manager John Horst is leading the search for the next head coach for the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks president Josh Glessing believes uncertainty surrounding the future of Giannis will not cloud the process.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, these things change and they evolve year over year, and that is the nature of professional sports. But I'm committing to holding people accountable. I'm committing to driving the best result on court, and an ownership group that's committed to providing the resources to do that. And I think we've got that in place.
The Bucks will learn its draft position at the NBA's draft lottery on May 10th. From the birds to fish, after taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe is expected to start for the Brewers tonight, making his major league debut. Coverage begins at 5:35 on WTMJ.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 3:37. This report is sponsored by Infinity Exteriors, your local experts for roofing, siding, and window projects.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
If you missed this,
big-time soccer player making big-time news halfway around the world.
Esmir, Appleton, Wisconsin born, very tied to his parents' nationality, chose to represent Team Bosnia and Herzegovina as they're qualifying for the World Cup. They've only ever been to one, and with a chance to make history, Esmir stands at the dot.
Bogdanovic scores!
And the crowd of 9,500 in the tightly packed stadium go absolutely nuts.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com.
Experience an auto show like never before. The Milwaukee Auto Show hits the road with new dates and a new easy access, easy to park location. Clear your calendar. May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. Whether shopping or just dreaming, you'll see sleek luxury cars to rugged trucks and everyday favorites. Hundreds of new vehicles May 14th through 17th at the Wisconsin State Fair Park and Expo Center. AutoShowMilwaukee.com.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky in high demand. Brian, can you tell us, it looks like what was going on in Sauk County, that tornado warning has dissipated, and it looks like there's 2 rounds. We're under a watch until 8 o'clock. Do you think it could be later than that?
I think our timing in Milwaukee is probably between like 7, 8 o'clock for these storms. Certainly sooner for our western spots. In fact, I think we'll get going for like Jefferson County, Walworth County by 5 o'clock maybe, and then eventually spreading across all of southeastern Wisconsin. Really hefty looking storm that's just south of the state line, kind of approaching Rockford. Well, it's a little ways away from Freeport, Illinois. And then eventually that cluster of storms should cross over the state line and eventually move into southeastern Wisconsin. So Rock County into Walworth County, really heads up for that cell. That should kick things off for us here in southeastern Wisconsin in about an hour or so.
Brian, when you have so many storms that are coming through and passing through, and we know that they can change directions and they can fade, they can get stronger or whatever, but when you see these different storms that are popping up, do you all want to err on the side of caution and like say, hey, let's expect the worst, as opposed to maybe saying, okay, it's not going to be that bad, and then it turns out to be really bad?
Yeah, honestly, that is a balance that you have to weigh. And I do understand, like, especially with the folks at the National Weather Service who have the responsibility of issuing warnings, I do understand erring on the side of caution. But on the flip side, it's a careful balance that they weigh and then we weigh with our tone especially, that not every tornado warning should even be treated the same. You know, obviously the same basics of you should go to your tornado safe spot. You should take it seriously. However, it is our job as broadcast meteorologists to convey that message the best that we can. To me, there is a different tone that should be given for the chance of, you know, like a brief spin up tornado or something that really isn't looking too impressive on radar, or we're not getting reports. That should have a different tone than a definitive tornado on the ground that's barreling into a populated area, if that makes sense to me. So yes, it is a balance that we really take serious here at Storm Team 4. And I'll just say, I'm not going to call out others, but there are others that are, you know, other meteorologists, whether online or even, you know, in town here, that tend to not give the proper weight to each individual warning. So it's something that we take pride in.
You deserve it. Every minute of that. Okay, so in Outagamie County, are you looking at what's going on in Shiocton right now? That there's 15,
what is the late?
Okay, so there's more than 15 feet. Wolf River is just over 15 feet. It's it's going to well exceed that, according to many of the people there, including the fire chief, who is talking to WBAY, and they're telling people, please evacuate this village, please.
Yeah, it's a dire situation there for sure. I don't have the latest like river data on that because, you know, we got our own like focus here at the moment, but I am in tune with what's going on up there. And Wolf River, you know, near record heights for them. So once you start to get into like unprecedented territory, that's what's scary when it comes to water, because you have nothing to compare it to. Like when the river rises to this level, where does the water go? When you start to get it in the territory of it hasn't been this high, then that's when things start to get pretty scary.
Wow. Okay, Brian, can you just time out tonight and into tomorrow?
Yeah, so I'll say this. In general, our western spots have a higher tornado threat than here in Milwaukee or along the lakeshore. That doesn't mean we are immune to a tornado threat here. However, I would say Jefferson County, Walworth County, Dodge County, maybe even Waukesha County, a greater risk for tornadoes than us. Now, as these storms move in, what we could end up seeing is a transition from a primary tornado threat into a damaging straight line wind threat for Milwaukee, with an isolated tornado still possible. Also, some heavy rain. I could see us easily getting another inch of rain, which wouldn't be that big of a deal if it wasn't for we're already at our wettest April on record. It's been incredible. We have had round after round of rain, and another inch of rain could easily back up the storm drains again, and we get some street flooding again, and it could cause an issue. So as we time this out, I would say our western spots around 5 o'clock, and then eventually making it to Milwaukee and the lakeshore between 7, 8 o'clock this evening, and then we'll have some lingering rain as the overnight goes on, but the bulk of the severe weather and heavy rainfall should wrap up by 9, 10 o'clock this evening.
He is Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky, keeping us safe with TMJ4 News. Watch him on Channel 4. Brian, thank you.
All right, guys. Yeah, hunker down. Just take every warning seriously, and, you get to your safe spot and take shelter. You should be fine.
Thanks, Brian. 3:45 on WTMJ.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Thinking of building or remodeling? Then don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour this weekend. See new homes, condos, subdivisions, and lots all over southeastern Wisconsin from MBA Builders. The MBA spring tour sites will showcase new home building trends and floor plans, energy-efficient products, fixtures and appliances, structured wiring, home automation, security systems, and interior design. Don't miss the Metro Builders Association's free spring tour, presented by Nuns this weekend. Visit MBAspringtour.com for locations.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burke here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I always tell people if you're even thinking about a vehicle, you got to stop by Griffin Ford. They make it easy. They've got the greatest selection, the best service, sales staff that won't pressure you. It's just easy. And right now, over 250 new Fords in stock, plus hundreds of pre-owned certified vehicles. They've all been checked out. Whether it's the fuel-efficient Maverick, the family-ready Explorer, which I love, or the legendary F-150, America's best-selling truck for over 49 straight years, they've got it at Griffin Ford in Waukesha. And I love that they offer every powertrain option, gas, diesel, hybrid, even electric, and they've got retired service loaner vehicles right now, so you get a nearly new car at a used car price. And don't forget, Griffin Ford wants to buy your car. Bring it in for a no-cost appraisal. It's easy. They're paying top dollar right now. Located at 1940 East Main Street in Waukesha, it's my place. Griffin Ford, huge selection, great people, a dealership I trust.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock-solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
All right, a quick check of your weather with Debbie Lazaga and your roads.
I was going to say, or traffic. I could do either or both.
I'm
but
yeah. Well,
I'll let
you
you
did
handle
the
the
storm
weather.
spotter story today, so I'm all confused.
Yeah, that's right.
It was really
okay.
good.
Thank you. All right. Southbound 43 is going to be kind of a slow ride right now. Basically, from Green Bay Avenue all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. It's going to be a slow crawl. The northbound side backing up, heading into the Marquette interchange and beyond towards North Avenue. We've got southbound 41 hitting the brakes pretty heavily from Main Street all the way down to Appleton Avenue. Northbound's backed up from Mayfair Road up past Capitol. More delays up from between Appleton Avenue and Main Street as well. And southbound 894, we got backups from the Zoo interchange down and around the Hale interchange to about Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The war in Iran has been impacting the U.S. economy in big and small ways. We have ABC News business and economics reporter Mason Leaf on the talk and text line. Mason, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Julia and Kelly. So, exactly like you were saying, the Iran war has been hitting the U.S. economy in ways that we Americans can feel every single day. And this is ranging from higher prices at the pump to broader inflation pressures that have been tied to rising energy costs. But this morning, we had a major development, which is that after many weeks of disruption, the Strait of Hormuz is now open. And this is already sending shockwaves through global markets in a really good way. Oil prices are plunging in America, fuel prices are dropping, and jet fuel is seeing the biggest relief of all. But what does this mean for American consumers? Well, here's what it means, is that relief is starting now. But relief is not going to show up completely overnight. Shipping through the strait remains minimal. Risk has not disappeared. Hundreds of ships are still stuck in the Persian Gulf, and it's going to take weeks and months for everything to go back to normal. And if fighting does resume, then all bets are off. But in the short term, it's very good news for American consumers.
All right, so if the ceasefire is extended, what does that mean? If it's not, what does that mean?
This is a great question. So if the ceasefire holds and the strait stays open, prices are expected to continue to fall steadily, likely every single day. And by Memorial Day, according to some of the economists that I've spoke with this afternoon, they said consumers could see significantly lower fuel costs, with gas prices trending into the low $3 range for the summer and potentially even dipping below $3 by early fall. But that's a big if. If the fighting does erupt and the ceasefire does not hold, another closure of the strait, this would send prices skyrocketing back up just as quickly as they were before today. So, the bottom line here is that we really don't know what's going to happen, but hopefully, the ceasefire will hold because that's what's best for American consumers right now.
Mason, why does it take so long for it to reach us? Because the immediate impact seems like it reaches us right away. But like you said, things are starting to turn, but we won't probably see this for a while. Why does it take so long for us to feel it?
That's such a great question. So typically the adage that a lot of economists I've talked with, they've used in terms of specifically gas prices is it goes up like a rocket and it comes down like a feather. So it went up like a rocket when there was all the geopolitical risk associated with this conflict in Iran, but now it's starting to come down like a feather. And so what happens is that prices shoot up really quickly because markets are very reactive. They're very reactive to risk, especially anything having to do with oil. So any moment there's, a threat to oil supply, traders start bidding up prices overnight and it just shoots up. But when things calm down, companies tend to lower their prices a little bit more gradually because they're trying to sell off the stock that they bought for the higher price. So they're working through their higher cost inventory, and there's just less urgency in general to cut prices. So consumers typically feel the pain immediately, but the relief unfortunately comes a little bit more slowly.
He is ABC News business and economics reporter Mason Leith. Mason, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
3:52 on WTMJ. We're also going to get you up to date with the Weekend Review next.
For growing businesses, digital marketing shouldn't be a gamble. If your business needs results, not guesswork, it's time for a different approach. At Margle Media, we deliver real results for businesses in an evolving digital world. Backed by data, guided by strategy, and focused on actionable outcomes. We partner with businesses of all sizes to drive growth locally or nationwide. Set up a free consultation today. Visit us at marglemedia.com. That's MARGLE media.com.
Keeping you updated on culture and creativity. What's on Tap with Sandy Max.
Kara Ogburn, the artistic director of Milwaukee Film, is in the studio with me. What are some of the festival favorites for you?
The film Seized is really a film about freedom of the press in a small town. Andre is an idiot. This is the funniest movie about colon cancer that you didn't know you needed.
Weeknights at 6 on WTMJ and the What's on Tap podcast on WTMJ.com. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Just got another update from National Weather Service. Let me just read this really quick. They are saying that in 45 minutes, it looks like the current path of the severe weather will hit southeast Greene County in about 45 minutes. So just trying to make sure that you guys are all aware of the first round that may be coming towards our area. All right, Mac and Doc step down. The president feuds with the Pope and a week of severe weather, we all know, and more. It's the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Chris McIntosh, done. The Wisconsin athletic director leaving his job.
I have one name that I would look at if I was the Badgers, Mark Tauscher.
What we would need is Evan would need to become the chancellor for that to probably happen.
Pope Leo says he is not afraid of the Trump administration after criticism from President Trump over the weekend.
Do you think he is trying to poke the bear a little bit?
Yeah, don't mess with the Pope. Doc Rivers to the Milwaukee Bucks makes a lot of sense.
Until it didn't.
Buckle up. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week in Wisconsin, and we are aware. Folks woken up in the night to the sound of those sirens. Tornado warnings popping all over southeast Wisconsin.
Brookfield Alderman Chris Seals now has resigned over some really horrific.
When people use this type of violent rhetoric, it's not just Muslims who can be targeted in acts of violence. It is people who can be confused for being Muslim.
Did you notice the date today? Are you celebrating? It is 414 Day.
Who out there wants to rock this thing and turn it into a New Year's Eve ball drop?
Dr. John Raymond, the president and CEO of the Medical College of Wisconsin, and he is with us this afternoon. Tell us about the new president.
His name's Dr. Shaker Kirkpatrick, and he's just an all-around amazing human being. He's someone that we should all be proud of, and he'll be starting July 1.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning. Ping-pong ball-size hail reported over Sussex.
I'm not telling you not to vote for him. Don't let this idea that the governor can freeze your utility rates be the reason, because it doesn't work like that.
Energy rates have gone up 50%. Like, this is the real problem.
You'd rather having us focus on the latter.
Trevor, ground ball left side, base hit.
But the fans booing him, kid that's been through all that he's been through, that's just not our best fans, that's for sure.
I just don't think you're helping anything. Like, what are you doing? Like, making yourself feel better by booing?
Trevor McGill he's somebody's kid.
Doc Rivers out as head coach. The search is on for his replacement.
What you don't want is someone who says, I'm only coming if I have this, or I'm only coming if I have that. You want someone who says, I'm committing to holding people accountable.
It rains a lot in the spring around here, but this seems excessive. Is this worse than usual?
I don't want to start comparing, the scenario we're in right now to last August's flood yet.
The next day.
Inches and inches of rain, flooding streets, shutting down the highway.
Pete Hegseth reportedly quoted a fake Bible verse.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
Yeah.
Waukesha police reports a man died by a lightning strike just outside the Quick Trip in Pewaukee.
I'm Judge Lindsay Burnett, and I'd be honored to serve you on the Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Already?
Bad news. The fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
I want to issue an apology. I think we've talked about weather at 6:10 every single day this week. Well, but what's happening is what's happening, and that's what's happening.
What a week, eh? What a week.
A moment, Vince? A moment?
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That is the Weekend Review brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. 3:57 on WTMJ. Your top stories next.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Wisconsin weather doesn't ease into spring. It keeps you guessing. That's why your windows and doors need to handle everything. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we build for year-round comfort. Now get 0% interest until 2030. That's years of no interest, so you can upgrade now and pay over time. Plus, enjoy a free in-home consultation, expert installation, and a 10-year limited warranty. But order by April 30th. Schedule today at PellaWI.com.
April is Global Volunteer Month. Wisconsin's volunteers are transforming our communities every day through their acts of service. Wondering how you can give back? Find the perfect volunteer opportunities at volunteerwisconsin.org or contact your local United Way or volunteer center. On volunteerwisconsin.org, you can filter opportunities by location, organization, cause, accessibility, and more to find your best fit. VolunteerWisconsin.org is hosted by United Way of Wisconsin and Serve Wisconsin. Paid for by United Way of Wisconsin.
There are over 700,000 people in the Wisconsin retirement system, from the entire UW system to local police, firefighters, and publicly employed teachers. A powerful program, but you might have questions. Join Annex Wealth Management on Thursday, April 23rd at 1 p.m. for a free webinar. WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and experts from Annex will explore scenarios and answer your WRS questions live. No sales pressure, just education. Understand your WRS potential. Thursday, April 23rd at 1 p.m. Click events at annexwealth.com.
Who's hungry? Lake Geneva Restaurant Week is back April 18th through the 26th, and you're invited. For 9 delicious days, dozens of the area's top spots roll out special breakfast, lunch, and dinner menus packed with flavor and price to impress. Whether you're craving a cozy cafe vibe or a night of upscale dining, this is your chance to explore it all. Dig into participating restaurants, menus, and all the mouthwatering details at visitlakegeneva.com. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for distinctive dining.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples, that was easy.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story this half hour. We are looking at severe weather.
I'm Telly Hughes, and for John McCure, considering whether to build a convention hotel.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got delays pretty much all over the place. Southbound 43 backing up from before Capitol Drive all the way down through to about Lincoln. We got the northbound side slowing down from the KK River crossing up past Lincoln, back on the brakes from Beecher through the Marquette up to about North Avenue. 894 southbound technically starts slowing down on 41 from Watertown Plank Road all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about 27th Street. The westbound side backing up out of the Mitchell interchange to about 51st. And then we've got eastbound 94. Heavy ride from 164 to Springdale, back on the brakes from about 84th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
We have a tornado watch in effect for all of southeastern Wisconsin until 8 o'clock tonight. We have more showers and storms, up to 3.5 inches in diameter of hail possible. Wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour possible. Be weather aware. Tomorrow the rain ends, mostly sunny, a high 50 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we're expecting another inch of rain for southeast Wisconsin. There's 2 different lines of storms coming to our area to keep an eye on. TMJ4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky tells us.
Our western spots around 5 o'clock, and then eventually making it to Milwaukee and the lakeshore between 7, 8 o'clock this evening, and then we'll have some lingering rain as the overnight goes on, but the bulk of the severe weather and heavy rainfall should wrap up by 9, 10 o'clock this evening.
We also have WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen. He's joining us in the 4 and 5 o'clock hours, keeping us safe.
Flooding's impact is being felt beyond southeast Wisconsin this week. The village of Shiocton in Outagamie County is under an evacuation order as water from the Wolf River continues to rise, closing nearly every village street. County Executive Tom Nelson.
The village of Shiocton is under an evacuation. People are not to enter the village limits.
Out of an abundance of caution, gas was shut off village-wide Wednesday in nearby New London. People impacted by floods are also being told to find shelter.
The Wisconsin Center District still considering whether or not to pursue building a convention center hotel in downtown Milwaukee.
The committee tasked with combing through data on a best use study published this year met for the final time on Thursday. That committee says the district should at least study the long-term feasibility of the theoretical 650-plus room hotel. Wauwatosa Mayor and committee member Dennis McBride.
Our vision and leadership seems to have died off. People have stopped dreaming big dreams about Milwaukee. We should think big about Milwaukee.
The full board will hear the committee's recommendation at their next meeting on May 15th. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Defense attorneys for the man charged with killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk appeared in court with claims that biased coverage is tainting potential jurors. News Nation's Alex Capriello.
Dr. Brian Edelman is a trial consultant who is actually brought on by this defense team to analyze everything that's come out since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and specifically zeroed in on the state of Utah, taking a look at more than 800 newspaper articles, more than 700 that right here in Utah County alone, more than 400 that have happened from U.S. networks, think News Nation, MSNBC, CNN, and the like.
Tyler Robinson's attorneys also want the judge to ban cameras from the courtroom.
More evidence in the case of missing mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, Nancy Guthrie, now in the hands of FBI. ABC's Hannah Bata.
The FBI is now analyzing potentially critical DNA recovered months ago from Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home. Guthrie has been missing since February 1st. The FBI received a sample from a private lab in Florida that works with the Pima County Sheriff's Department. Sources say the FBI is using new technology to analyze the sample in the hopes of producing a lead. As many as 5 other labs around the country are working on the Guthrie case.
About 24 Pima County and FBI investigators are still actively working the Guthrie case.
President Trump is sounding optimistic about a deal to end the war against Iran.
In an interview with CBS News, President Trump said Iran has agreed to stop enriching uranium forever, saying they have agreed to everything, and it's a great deal, it's a wonderful deal. When it comes to removing Iran's enriched uranium, which the president refers to as nuclear dust, Trump said the U.S. and Iran would work together. At the same time, though, he insisted removal would not involve U.S. troops on the ground. He said, quote, "No troops. We'll go down and get it with them, and then we'll take it. We'll be getting it together because by that time we'll have an agreement." Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up, who the Packers might pick up during the NFL Draft.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:06.
It's early in the year, but if you want that outdoor living project, that dream outdoor oasis started, you need to visit Outdoor Living Unlimited's amazing showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. Nobody has a showroom like it. Bring your ideas, get new ideas, but let's design and build a backyard together. New deck, outdoor kitchen, fire pit, screen room, even a putting green or an automated pergola. Visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
If you plan on draining buzzer beaters, the place to start is Burkhardt, where you'll find a great selection of residential basketball hoops from the best brand, Goalrilla. We'll handle the installation and take care of everything to make it easy from start to finish. And right now when you buy from Burkhardt, standard hoop installation is half price. You can't beat that. This is Brian Burkhardt, and when you love basketball like we do,
you can't beat Burkhardt. Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Milwaukee enters the day with a record of 10-8. President of Baseball Operations, Matt Arnold.
We have some guys coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but we're hopefully able to get through this, and honestly, I think we'll be better because of it, because I do think it really allows some young guys to get some opportunities here and show what they can do.
Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe is expected to start for the Brewers tonight, making his major league debut. Coverage begins at 5:35 on WTMJ. The NFL draft begins Thursday of next week. The Packers are currently armed with 8 selections.
You lose like a Parsons, a great player. You can't have that. I look at these teams, if on paper, they're as good as anybody on paper, but they got to have their guys out there, and they got to be healthy.
ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:09.
Get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. One day it's sunshine, the next it's wind, rain, or even snow. That's why your windows and doors have to handle everything in every season. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we design with that in mind. Built for durability, efficiency, and year-round comfort. And right now, we're making that comfort easier to afford. Order today and get 0% interest until 2030. Not just for a short time, no interest all the way until 2030. So you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without even paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step, helping you find the right fit for your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, with our 10-year limited warranty, you'll have peace of mind long after installation date. No interest until 2030, but only if you order by April 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2026.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
We are keeping an eye to the sky. Be weather aware. Download our WTMJ mobile app. They'll send you notifications. Then you can listen live wherever you are. We are under a tornado watch until 8 o'clock tonight. We have meteorologist Craig Copleen joining us in the next half hour and the next hour after that. So we're going to keep you up to date every 15 minutes as well. At 4:11, we're talking to Adam Roberts about what's going on once everything clears up on Sunday. It'll be a beautiful Sunday, and you can listen to Reporter's Notebook at 10 a.m. And you're talking about something that maybe some people don't know about when reporters look into things, and the public can do as well.
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the areas where there's a little bit of worlds colliding. I talked earlier about, we use the phrase sometimes in the biz, news you can use, when we have applicable tools that we're sharing with you. And that's what we're focusing on this week on the show, the open records request. Julie, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'd be where I am today if I didn't have those tools in my back pocket to get some of that critical information that makes a story just that much juicier, those details, without the idea of open records. But it's also something that anyone can do. You don't have to be a reporter. You could be a plumber. You could be a mail carrier. Doesn't matter. But if you want to learn what's going on with your units of government, your school board, you can use this tool and try to get that information. But no two records requests are created equal, and there are ways you can make them better to get better information. So I spoke this week with Krista Westerberg, really interesting person, an attorney in Madison, and also VP of the Wisconsin Freedom of Information Council. So she combs through this stuff all the time and is always looking for ways that we can make better records requests. And one of the interesting things this year is, as we are in an election season, you've got a lot of politicians. You're going to start seeing the ads on TV making big promises. I'm going to do this. We will cut these taxes, whatever the case is. And you may be asking yourself, well, what have you done for me previously? Where is your record lie? And that's one of the reasons an open records request can be so valuable.
If they're campaigning on an issue such as healthcare, maybe you can make a records request to the State Department of Health Services to see how a particular office is currently running. If an official is saying, we're going to approve this function, why don't we see how it's working right now? And open records request could help you do that. And then once somebody is in office, you can always do request after that election to see how it's worked out.
It's also interesting to look into just some of the differences between records requests in our state here in Wisconsin versus others across the country. And when you put them side by side, we actually do make it a lot easier for the everyday person to get information. And there's little tips and tricks that you may not recognize for getting past some of that complicated talk you may see in some of these pages and pages of emails that you may get. There's a lot of terms that you may not understand. So we talk about that as well as some of those little things that are unique to Wisconsin coming up this weekend as well.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
My favorite thing to listen to.
And it's so funny, Adam, and I know we have to get to break, but with this whole thing with Tiger Woods and they're requesting his information on his prescription medication and things like that. So speaking of open records, and like you said, though, it's different in different states. So it might be a little tougher for them to get it, but here it seems like if you just go through the proper channels, you can pretty much get what you want.
So here's a little free one for you for just listening to this segment. Did you know in Wisconsin, if you file a request, you don't have to say who you are? You can file your requests anonymously. That's right. So in other states, you have to identify, give a name and some sort of identifying factor, but that is not the case in Wisconsin. As long as you make your request, I am looking for blank from blank in this time period, that's all you have to do. Now, in our position, we still identify because that's just being transparent. That's part of our job. But that is an option that exists for you if you're worried about possible kickback or retribution.
Right. Oh, absolutely. That's really interesting.
It's a good nugget.
Going back to your thing with Tiger Woods, Telly, I was thinking the same thing because there are HIPAA laws, like, health laws.
Yes.
But in this criminal case, if you're saying, you told police and you're pleading not guilty, and police found in your pocket 2 opiate pills, prescription pills, and he's saying, that's a doctor's. You got to have those controlled. Schedule 4, Schedule 3, Schedule 2, Schedule 1 is illegal. But I mean, you have these prescription drugs that are, monitored like that. You have to keep it in your prescription bottle. So that's why I think they want evidence that he was prescribed that.
Yeah. Well, if they start to dig and figure out his refill history and all of that, it could,
Maybe it'll just end in a plea deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a plea out.
The lives of famous people.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's 4:15 on WTMJ. We take a look at your weather, and Debbie is taking a look at your roads. We're talking about the flood warning that's in effect as well next.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we believe in doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products you want and need at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Right now, during our battery-powered tool sale, get up to $30 off new Ego battery-powered pressure washers or weed trimmers, $5 off select Blaine's brand lawn and garden batteries, and your choice of KT designer welding helmets 30% off. Find the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. I just did my favorite thing ever 2 weeks ago. I got Dysport. It's like Botox. I like Dysport better. It lasts much longer for me. The effects from when I got it last year were waning. I could feel the weight of my eyelids going down. So the owner of Sweet Talks, Katie Sweetman, who's a nurse practitioner, did the injections on my face, and it's kicked in. All the lines on my forehead aren't showing. My crow's feet are more subtle when I smile. And I even got it right above my lip, Telly. I got Botox, so then I don't have a gummy smile.
No.
It makes a big difference. No, because sometimes when I smile, I look like it's too much.
You sure that's not something that you...
See? No, I look like a horse. Not anymore. Thanks to Sweet Talks. It's true. It stops the muscle from moving. It doesn't completely freeze your face. It's far from frozen. But the earlier you get it, the better. It prevents wrinkles. Get it done. It's worth it. Book at sweettalks.com. They are incredible. The entire team is so nice. You can also get advanced skin treatments and wellness services at sweettalks.com.
This is Bo from Ridgetop Exteriors. Your home should be the one place that you feel completely comfortable and safe. But old, drafty windows can steal that feeling. At Ridgetop Exteriors, we bring that peace of mind back. As Wisconsin's leading Pella Premier contractor, we install beautiful, secure windows and doors that can save you up to 40% on your energy bills. Get a home full of new Pella windows for as low as $198 a month. Learn more at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Redo Cabinets. Are you tired of looking at those sad cabinets in your kitchen? When you close them, they make that big banging noise. Well, you can get them all refaced at a fraction of the cost of a complete rebuild. After you book and order what you want to reface your cabinets with Redo Cabinets, like the color, the trims, crown molding, a backsplash they can put it in. And their experience, they get it done fast. They can be in and out of your home once you order it within 7 days. You do not have to suffer months of waiting for the heart of your home to be done with construction. And for a limited time, you can get free premium countertops with every refacing projects or monthly payments starting as low as $195 a month. $195 a month. What are you waiting for? You just start with a consultation. They come to your house. They'll take a look. They'll show you everything. They have all the samples there. It takes about 90 minutes. And all the materials are made right here in the USA. Redo Cabinets has family-owned roots from 7 decades. This is the way everyone should remodel their kitchen. Get rid of the headaches at a fraction of the cost of a total build-out. Head to RedoCabinets.com. That's RedoCabinets.com or call 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 369-369. That's HIM to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
422 on WTMJ. Each Friday we do something that you may have missed in the headlines, and we like to surprise each other with our stories. It's something that we call
In Case You Missed It.
Okay, so this one is out of Westlake, Ohio. A 91-year-old woman was not answering her family's calls. They believe that something could have been wrong. And in that city, they have the Are You OK program. Turned out she was in her room. She was just fine. Here's dispatch with what she was doing.
We're here with her now. She's playing video games in her bedroom.
She's playing video games. Can you leave a woman alone? She said this is true. She was trying to beat her record level.
So relax, everybody.
So she wasn't answering all the calls and missing all those attempts on people trying to check in on her. Okay, this is why I don't play the game Roller Coaster Tycoon anymore. I banned myself from it. From
You would just be so engulfed that the world around you doesn't exist.
Telly, I would blink and it'd be 4 a.m. Yeah. I'm in the middle of making these roller coasters and getting these construction crews.
I'm glad you're off it, Julia.
Making sure each rider's happy.
I'm glad you kicked it.
I could, now that I'm thinking about it, you can also get like little sweepers because sometimes the riders would get kind of dizzy if you made the roller coasters too wild.
Mm-hmm.
So you would okay. I don't want to see. This is what makes me love
that's
it.
What happens. Yeah, don't get back on it, man.
You could hire little mascots.
Do not go back and get on it.
And then it also rained in the game, so when it rained, you would up the price on the umbrellas big time, like $20 an umbrella. All right.
Sounds like America.
Go ahead.
In case you missed it.
Julia, this isn't in case you missed it, but more or less in case you forgot it. But I was reminded about this and the name change as a fire truck passed me in Wauwatosa. Now, back in late February, Wauwatosa and West Allis approved the merger and creation of a joint fire department called Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue. Now, if you recall, Milwaukee Alderman Peter Burgelis said he sees the benefits of combining the fire departments, but as a Wauwatosa native, he said Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue is a misleading name. Now, at the time, Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride called the discourse much ado about nothing. And at first, I kind of sided with the mayor, thinking not everybody will like or agree on a name until the other day when I realized how confusing that will initially be to call the Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue if you need help in Wauwatosa.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Right?
So I had my in case you forgot it moment the other day because I had totally forgot about it. And then I said, when I saw the Wauwatosa Fire Department truck go by me, I said, man, how confusing is that going to be when it's time to call the Milwaukee Fire Rescue?
Okay.
Milwaukee Metro Fire Rescue, if you're in West Allis or Wauwatosa.
And then when we do a news story, we'll say Milwaukee Metro Fire, and then people will get confused on where it is, which city it is.
Exactly, because you're automatically going to think Milwaukee. So, again, at first, I was with Wauwatosa Mayor Dennis McBride. I was like, hey, people are always going to have something to say. But after thinking about it more, man, it is and it will be confusing.
In case you missed it.
Yeah, well, how do you welcome spring, folks? Do you go outside and walk around barefoot in the grass?
I'd love to.
Sing songs, dance around a maypole? How about burning your socks? That's right. In a Chesapeake Bay town of Annapolis, Maryland, that's how they welcome spring. It's the annual festival that draws hundreds and all the way to the city's Eastport neighborhood, where they all take old socks and burn them. For nearly 50 years, the Annapolis Oyster Roast and Sock Burning Festival has marked the long-awaited return of warmer days. Apparently, what had happened was back in the long-ago days, sailors used to take off their socks, which they would wear for days, nigh weeks on end, and once it got warmer, they would throw their socks into the fire for obvious reasons. Well, that is basically turned into a commemoration and a welcome of spring. Ew, gross. Luckily, John's not here. So there
I
you
know.
go.
He hates feet.
In case you missed it.
427 on WTMJ. Thanks, everybody. Time for news about your money and your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets rallied as the Strait of Hormuz reopened and President Trump signaled swift progress in U.S.-Iran talks. The Dow was up 1.79%, up 868 on the day, ending at 49,447, just shy of that 50,000 mark. NASDAQ was up 365, S&P 500 up 84. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Hey, I'm John Mercure. If your idea of a perfect day includes ballpark food, big wins, and a little extra excitement, Potawatomi Casino Hotel has you covered. We're excited to be joined today by Luis Olmos from Potawatomi to walk us through everything happening right now. Hey, Luis.
Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going great. Let's start with something we all love, all-star dining specials. What's going on?
Yeah, this is a really fun one. We're rolling out all-star specials now through June, and it's all inspired by that classic ballpark experience. Guests can grab a $5 hot dog at Burger Company, a $4 Cracker Jack popcorn ball at Mini and Wow, or a $10 beer and brat combo at Sportsbook. And we've even got a blue and gold slushie at Easy Street that really ties it all together. Definitely gives you that game day feel.
Man, I love that a lot. Casino floor, big energy, big excitement, and I know there's some new things people are going to want to check out. What's happening there?
Yeah, you can get the thrill of Monopoly in two really fun ways right now. We've got a brand new Monopoly slot machine on the floor, and also a twist on Blackjack where side bets can actually earn you big prizes from Mr. Monopoly himself. On top of that, we have our $300,000 base race happening on Thursday nights in April where guests can win cash and prizes, and it's all part of our Big League Series promotion where later this spring you could even win a share of 3 brand new cars.
Man, 3 brand new cars. That sure raises the stakes a little bit.
It does, and no matter what you're playing, make sure you're using your Potawatomi Rewards card so you can earn entries and rewards along the way.
All right, for people who love the table games, there's something special there too?
Oh, yeah. We're offering $10 craps all of April on Mondays and Tuesdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can find those tables in the 1100 gaming area and in Champions outside of the sportsbook. It's a great way to get in on the action at a lower minimum.
In just a couple of words, tell us what makes the food special at Potawatomi.
It's really the care that we have. Everything is local. Our chefs are local. You know, it really comes across in everything they put out. Hey, come and grab some of this great local food that we get all local and our local chefs put on for you.
I like the way you think. For more information, it's easy. Go to Potawatomi.com. Luis Olmos. Thank you so much, Luis.
Thanks, John.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
4:32 on WTMJ. All right, we are going into wall-to-wall coverage because we have a tornado warning that is now in effect. It is in Dodge County. Let's go to meteorologist Craig Coplain. All right, Craig, so we see in about 15 minutes from now, it's going to hit Beaver Dam, Juneau, Eustisford.
Yeah, that's right. So we've seen we see on radar a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It began showing this when it was near Waterloo just a short time ago, and it's moving to the northeast. So it'll be moving into Dodge County. It's already now moved into Dodge County. You mentioned a couple of the bigger communities in Dodge County that are under the warning. Let me mention a couple others: Danville, Kleiman, Reeseville, Lowell, and Leipzig. If you're in or near any of those communities, in addition to Beaver Dam, Juneau, and Eustisford, as Julia just mentioned, you're under a tornado warning. This means that dangerous weather is approaching, and it's time now to move and move quickly to a place of safety and shelter. Indoors, if you happen to be outdoors, of course, and then in your basement, if you have one, otherwise in an interior room or hallway, as a potential tornado is headed in your direction, residents of those communities and those nearby.
Craig, what wind gusts are you seeing right now? And it's headed northeast. How fast is it going?
Yeah, the storm is moving at approximately 25 miles per hour. That's not terribly strong. Wind speeds with the thunderstorm, outside of there being a tornado, are probably gusting to near 50 miles per hour. They will be stronger if indeed a tornado has been produced, or if a tornado does end up being produced here in the next couple of minutes. So this is a very dangerous situation, and one that's going to cause very strong winds, tornado or not, as it moves through Dodge County.
So now we're looking at this, and in the next 15 minutes, it could hit Beaver Dam. And then do you think it will go into Washington County or Fond du Lac County, or maybe both?
The way it's tracking right now, it probably moves into Fond du Lac County afterwards, after it gets out of Dodge County. Probably it's southern Fond du Lac County, so places like Oakfield and Eden and Campbellsport. Be on alert if you're in or near any of those communities. This potentially tornadic thunderstorm is likely coming, or is coming in your direction. We'll see if it still has, still either is producing a tornado or still have the capability to produce a tornado once we get maybe a half an hour down the road or so. This is just one, Julia and Telly, of multiple thunderstorms now that are going on west of Milwaukee across southern Wisconsin. The strongest ones are, well, this one in Dodge County, of course, but there are also very strong storms west and southwest of there, near the Madison area, south toward Janesville and Beloit, and then west all the way to Platteville and the Mississippi River, and west of there into Iowa. So this is the beginning. This is the start of it. And now we're going to be into this stretch of weather where there will be thunderstorms tracking through different locations of the WTMJ listening area for the next several hours. I mean, all the way until probably something like 9 or 10 o'clock.
Craig, I was just looking at one of those storms you were alluding to, the one that's in now Rockford, Illinois. But the thing is, like, we know that there could be rounds and rounds of storms and possible severe storms. But is there any chance that some of these that are way south and way west right now could weaken by the time they move in our area?
Well, that's possible, although I do have to tell you that all the conditions are there. Across southern Wisconsin, the southeast part of the state, here in the city of Milwaukee and nearby communities, all the right atmospheric conditions and ingredients are there for these storms to maintain their strength as they make their trek toward Milwaukee and toward the lakeshore. It is cooler right along the lakeshore, and once the storms move into that air, they will begin a weakening process. But I think it's very probable that they'll maintain the capability of producing wind damage or even tornadoes all the way to the lakeshore before then rapidly diminishing in intensity when they're over the lake.
Okay, so if you are just joining us on WTMJ at 4:37, we have a tornado warning right now in effect. It's for Dodge County. It's going at a slow pace, but the wind gusts are very strong. And we have WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen on the talk and text line with us. He's also joining us. If you're watching YouTube as well, you can see him. Now, I'm watching TMJ4. This is almost the same type of path we were talking about a few months ago, and it's headed towards Mayville again.
Yeah, so that is, for one thing, Dodge County is the biggest county in our listening area, right? So just because of its size, I guess maybe we do tend to hear about it being under severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings and that sort of thing, maybe more often than some other counties. But you're not wrong, Julia. It does seem like the Dodge County, Fond du Lac County area have had more than their share of rough weather through the spring so far.
Boy, that is brutal. Okay, so I was watching Channel 4. It looks like there is a pretty good hook on it. And then I'm not like you. I'm not as good as you with looking at this debris tracker. Are you seeing debris in the air?
I'm not at this point, which of course is good news that we don't see indications that, at least for now, that there's been any type of tornado touchdown that has led to a large amount of debris being lifted into the air. And in fact, as I look at this a little bit closer right now, I don't see as much indication of spin and rotation on the latest radar scan that we saw a couple scans ago. That does not mean that this area is out of the woods and the threat is no longer around. This is a situation where this storm could sort of pulse up and down in its strength. For that matter, all the storms that we're going to see this afternoon may kind of pulse up and down in terms of their strength and their spin and therefore their capability to produce tornadoes. So those of you in Dodge County under this warning, most specifically in Reeseville, Lowell, Kleiman, Juneau, Beaver Dam, and eventually Horicon even, stay in your place of safety, stay in a place of shelter while this warning is in effect. Officially in effect for 35 more minutes. That takes us to about 4:15. I'm sorry, 5:15 is the official end time of this particular warning. We need to watch it closely for any indications of it re-strengthening and showing more indication of spin, rotation, and a tornado. Very, very possible.
Craig, we know we have already received historic amount of rainfall to start this month. And how much more rain is going to come with these tornadoes and storms tonight? Because some of these areas have already been hit hard, and this will be additional rainfall to these areas as well.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to be running into a flooding situation again tonight. Maybe not to the extent that we saw 2 nights ago and 3 nights ago, but maybe. Some of the strongest storms, I think, are going to end up producing up to 2 inches of rain. And I think we're going to have at least a general rainfall of about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch for all of southeast Wisconsin. And then the strongest storms producing up to 2 inches. So my guess is that the typically flood-prone areas across southeastern Wisconsin, that where water is still running high, are areas that are particularly flood-prone. At least some of them will end up flooding yet again tonight. Okay, so this is good news. The tornado warning for Dodge County has been canceled early.
I see that.
Just like that. So
that's very early, huh?
Yeah, I just mentioned, right, that the latest radar scans aren't showing as much rotation as they did just a short time ago. And so the National Weather Service saw that also, and it has led them to bring the tornado warning to an end real early. Great news for now, but nevertheless, we have plenty more storms that we're tracking on radar now, well to the west. And so we're going to more than likely be talking again, I believe, about more either tornado warnings or just thunderstorms, straight line thunderstorm winds that could lead to damage later tonight too.
Right. Okay. So really, we can talk about what's going on right by Beloit and the Illinois border, and that could affect us.
Yep,
and
that's right.
My goodness, there's a lot going on in Iowa still. And then what you're talking about right on the Iowa, south of La Crosse, the Iowa-Wisconsin border, there's 2 big, and also Greene County.
Yeah, yeah. Greene County is most of Greene County is getting clobbered by a really strong storm right now, and it's the very southeast portion or corner of that county. The communities in and south of Broadhead in Greene County are under a tornado warning. That's the tornado warning, and it extends down to the south to near and just north of Rockford. If that storm continues moving to the northeast, as it's doing right now, and continues to show tornado potential, we'll probably get a tornado warning for Rock County, and then we'll watch that storm then continue to move to the northeast. And if it holds together, now I'm speculating out a little farther than I probably should, but that storm is moving toward Walworth County.
Yeah,
So
no, it's true.
Yeah, so it's Walworth County that storm would eventually move into. You're not under a warning for now, Walworth County, but that's something that we're going to be watching closely for you within the next hour or so. And you're right, Julia, back near the Mississippi River from near La Crosse south to west of Dubuque, there are other tornado warnings in effect, other storms that are producing tornadoes. So those are 4 hours away.
So that's the round 2 you're talking about?
Yeah, that's the round 2. And 4 hours from now gets us to approaching 9 o'clock. So that's why I'm saying we've got many hours. We've got many hours ahead of us to watch things move across southern Wisconsin.
WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copeland. Okay, Craig, we will check in with you coming up in the next hour or earlier if another thing pops up. This is what's going on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. We have a lot of severe weather, lots of rounds, and lots of different locations where it's popping up all over. So WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copeland is keeping us safe. That tornado warning has disappeared. It's gone. It's expired, as they say. Right, Craig?
Yeah, it's been canceled.
It is
in fact,
canceled.
Yep. It didn't even get to its.
I use every synonym but the right one.
Well, it didn't get to its official expiration time. It got canceled early, and those are the best warnings of all.
No kidding. All right. Thank you for keeping us safe. We'll definitely come back to you as we need to. Thank you so much, Craig. I appreciate it.
You got it.
4:45 on WTMJ. All right. I think this is a perfect time in the quarter hour to take a look at our roads with She is the queen.
I wanted to be one when I was growing up.
Me too. She's the queen of the roads. That's what she is. Debbie Laza.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Highway 100. It's technically Highway 100. It's eastbound Brown Deer Road or Main Street, Menominee Falls at that point. Right about at Fountain Boulevard, we have the 2 left lanes blocked with a crash. So watch out for that. A little a little bit further south on 41. We've got delays basically before the county line all the way to Appleton Avenue. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road up past Capitol Drive. It's a slow ride on 43 southbound from pretty much Hampton all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River Crossing, northbound from the KK River Crossing all the way up through to North Avenue. And then on westbound 94, you've got backups from about 30th Street to Hawley Road. More delays then just west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County, and again from Brookfield Road all the way to Springdale Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
4:46 on WTMJ. Debbie, thank you. We are keeping an eye to the sky. Please be weather aware. We are under a tornado watch at this time. So nothing is popping up just yet. We did have that one that just is no longer happening in Dodge County, and we are keeping an eye on that. If you see any weather, by the way, in a safe area, you can always text us to 855-616-1620. That's our Setting Unlimited Talk and Text line. 855-616-1620. What are you seeing in your area right now? It's 4:47 on WTMJ.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Look, this time of year, it can be tough to find a place where you can really get out and enjoy time with your dog, right? That's exactly why the Hounds and Tap has become our go-to family spot. State-of-the-art indoor-outdoor dog park and tavern. Dogs can hang out and socialize, you relax, catch a game, and enjoy a drink, maybe some food from a food truck. Incredible staff, clean space, it's safe, our dog loves it. A year-round destination for dogs and humans. Plan a visit to the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Connect with thehoundsandtap.com.
Weight loss. Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, they do know the secret. Their doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely, with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, none of that stuff. Their program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good. And there's a coach for ongoing support and accountability, which is what I need. I'm on their program as well, and I've lost up to 20 pounds so far, and I'm on the maintenance portion of it. Well, let's see how far I can go after this section is up and see if I can lose some more weight. Lots of patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to £1 per day. And for a limited time, you get $200 off with their spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Spring has arrived in the Geneva Lakes region, and there is no better place to welcome the season than the award-winning Lake Lawn Resort. Enjoy lakeside dining at 1878 on the lake, golf for all ages and abilities at Majestic Oaks, relaxing spa experiences at the award-winning Calidora Spa, and endless recreation opportunities along the resort's 2 miles of shoreline on beautiful Delavan Lake. Plan your spring getaway today at lakelawnresort.com and come find out for yourself why everything is better at the lake.
Turnover. It's costly, it's frustrating, it's a silent profit killer. Vince Vitrano here for Go Trago Assessment Solutions. Go Trago helps you hire the right people the first time, reducing turnover, cutting hiring costs, and improving sales. Trago TPS predictive assessments identify top performers before they're on your payroll. Auto dealers nationwide are using Trago to operate with turnover rates more than 200% lower than the industry average. Visit GoTrago.com.
Jason, I've scrubbed the baseboards, organized the spice rack, and color-coded my socks. I'm pretty much unstoppable.
You missed the drain, Tracy. Your hairball has it moving slower than a snail on a Sunday. It's practically glacial. It's...
Okay, I get it. Don't let a clog ruin the spring clean. For just $49, Capital Heating, Cooling, Electric, and Plumbing will get the pipes as fresh as the breeze.
Leave slow and steady to the turtles. We'll take the fast and flowing.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Behind every breaking headline, there's a reporter whose perspective deserves to be heard. This is WTMJ's Adam Roberts. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Reporter's Notebook as we break down the news from the lens of the reporter and analyze stories that deserve closer inspection. We'll also give you a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into a reporter's job and how the news you hear every day comes together.
Bringing you the story behind the story. It's Reporter's Notebook, Sunday mornings at 10 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, supporting communities and residents through advocacy, education, and service. Where you live matters. Get the answers you and your family need about assisted living in Wisconsin. Start with clear, trusted guidance by visiting whereyouLiveMatters.org today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
4:51 on WTMJ. We are keeping an eye on the weather. The largest hail at the moment, according to the National Weather Service right now with the storm, is south of the Illinois border, and it's expected to come into Rock County eventually. And meteorologist Craig Copleen, who was just joining us, was talking about how that storm may continue and be strong through Walworth County. But we're not there yet. We're keeping an eye on this. So we will stay on top of it for you. It looks like in Iowa County as well. Wow. The wind gusts are at 60 miles an hour already. So the highest that we were forecasting was 70 miles an hour. So we're keeping an eye on it. At 4:52, want to talk about this. A report found, Telly, a Wisconsin agency spent nearly $370,000 on a 4-day conference in the Dells. It was the Department of Public Instruction.
How much again? Run that number by me again.
$370,000.
And how long were they there?
They were there for 4 nights. They were at the Chula Vista in the Wisconsin Dells. Okay? Have you been to the Chula Vista?
It's been some years, but yes,
It's one of the larger water park resorts in the Dells.
Yes.
With conference space, hotel rooms, and indoor water park amenities, which is why it's drawing so much criticism from some lawmakers over the optics and the cost.
Wow.
And officials are saying that it was part of their regular work updating the state's Forward exam in partnership with a private company called Data Recognition Corporation. That company works with states and school systems on testing and assessments. So in simple terms, this company that they were working with, they design, score, and manage standardized tests. And they were saying that they have to develop test questions and handle the testing system. And it's a little bit more secretive because they don't want it to come out. It's confidential once they get these test questions and materials together and it's not made public. You know, because you don't want people to teach the test and the results in advance. But many people aren't buying that. There's a state representative, Amanda Nedweski, questioned not just the cost, but who was and wasn't there. She says decisions about statewide academic standards were made without parents, without lawmakers, without the public involved. And Assembly Majority Leader Tyler August also raised concerns about how long it's taking for the agency to respond to open records requests for more information on what they were doing each day. Because we are not without buildings that they could have done conferences in. There's 2,300 school buildings across our state.
I was allowing you to tell the whole story, but I was stuck on that at the beginning of the story.
There's a little thing called Zoom.
Yes. And on top of that, if you're spending that type of money, you better show records of why you're spending that type of money. You can't spend $370,000 and say, well, hey, we were handling business. And you're supposed to accept that? Like, so, again, there should have been someone there recording the minutes.
Totally. There was. I bet there was.
There had to
They're
have
trying to
been.
get their hands on it. Maybe they were having booze. I don't know.
Or maybe they weren't doing everything that they said that they were doing.
With a private company, that probably could have helped pay for some of this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you hired them, but on top of that, that's another expense that you need to explain in terms of why you hired this company. And I mean, that's a lot of money for a 4-day conference. I mean, come on, almost a $500,000.
Have you been to a conference before?
I've been to several.
I had to go to a retreat one time. It wasn't fun. It was a day trip. We learned about what, the surveys thought about us with anchoring television. What was it called? Like some type of test where they watch the people who watch the news and say, yeah I like
focus
her.
group?
I don't like. Thank you. Focus group.
Yes.
Those focus groups. Takes a while.
Yes.
And then I went to a camp. I had to go to a camp retreat. I didn't get the Chula Vista. Missed out on that. Oh, by the way, if you weren't keeping track of what's going on, Milwaukee Public Schools is still dealing with a $46 million budget deficit.
Yeah. So they clearly have issues on how they spend their money and how they
Not that
report it to the public. Again, I mean, of course, MPS, they have their own issues, but
the statewide,
DPI,
statewide organization.
Come on. Again, if there's already been a lot of noise or attention brought around how money is being spent, that should be the first thing that you think about when you are preparing a conference like this, is how is this going to look? How can we justify this? Now, I'm all for it because most of the time conferences are boring. You're in ballrooms for 6-7 hours at a time and stuff
Right.
like that. So I'm for trying to make it as comfortable and as enticing as possible to get you to come, because maybe they've had problems with the attendance. But if you're going to, I guess, spruce it up to the tune of $370,000, you better at least keep some receipts and the minutes as to, okay, if this comes back on us, this is what we were doing.
Someone from the 414, is this the same woman who heads the DPI that changed the way scores are reported? Yes. Yep. That's it. All right. We're out of time. Boy, I could go a half hour on this. Okay, if anyone
There's some
was
people that may not want you to go a half hour on it.
if anyone was there at the Chula Vista and saw what was going on, please reach out to me. Okay? I want to know what was going on. What were they doing? Did they have, yoga?
Was
there a motivational
Was this
speaker?
justified?
What
was
were they
Coldplay there?
Right.
Something. Give us something.
Weezer was probably playing. 4:58 on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
All journeys change your location. Some change your soul. In 2027, join a Fox Group vacation to Africa with African Travel. From Rwanda's gorilla treks to the Serengeti's plains, you aren't just a tourist, you're a witness to the extraordinary. With a Fox host and a community of fellow explorers, every sunrise and starlit bush dinner is a shared memory in the making. Secure your spot in the pride. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
From the lakefront to the coastline, the crew rolls into South Beach.
To Jimenez, hit to left. Lockridge leaping. Did he catch it? Yes! Brandon Lockridge, Spider-Man style in the corner.
The Brewers look to make waves in Miami against the Marlins. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story: storms are starting in southeast Wisconsin.
I'm Tully Hughes, and for John McCure, evacuating because of flooding.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound 43, still a solid ride from before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette towards the KK River crossing. Northbound side's backed up just before Chase all the way through the Marquette up past Keefe. We've got westbound 94, very heavy from 30th Street to Hawley Road, back on the brakes from about Sunny Slope Road past to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, we got backups from Highway 16 all the way to Brookfield Road and then 84th Street all the way to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Lots of thunderstorms lighting up the sky in, looks like it's in Rock County right now, headed towards Walworth County. Beaver Dam, you have some heavy rain as well going through your area. Headed towards us, we are under a tornado watch at this time. Tonight, more showers and storms, hail possible, and the gusts could get up to 70 miles an hour. Tomorrow, rain ends, mostly sunny, a high of 50. Those gusts will stay at about 25 miles an hour. In Milwaukee, we have light rain so far, and it's 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 2 rounds of storms are expected to hit us tonight. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copeland.
On the low end, probably expect maybe 3/4 of an inch everywhere. On the high end, around 2 inches for the folks that are, let's say, the most unluckiest in this heavy rain scenario.
And Craig joins us in less than 15 minutes with the very latest.
People in Portage in Columbia County are being told to evacuate because of flooding. The DNR says the Wisconsin River is still rising, putting pressure on the levee system and raising concerns it could fail. There is special concern for the Caledonia levee just south of Highway 33 near Blackhawk Park. Crews are working to reinforce the levee with sandbags. The Wisconsin River is expected to crest this afternoon.
Planning ahead for future flood events in the Milwaukee area is the focus of a newly created joint task force. The effort was announced today between the City of Milwaukee, Milwaukee County, and the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District. They're going to explore options for investing in flood-resistant infrastructure. The group is holding its first meeting in the coming days. They anticipate producing recommendations later this year.
A large emergency response in Cudahy ends with a successful rescue.
Dispatch 1 on command. Upgrade this to a technical rescue card.
Message received. Did you still want the Coast Guard?
Yeah, it's affirmative if we can get them.
That was scanner audio from Broadcastify. The Cudahy Fire Department was called to Warren Mount Park just after 3 a.m. to rescue a man who had sunk up to his knees in mud along the lakefront. Rescuers used a technical rope operation to reach him, sending a crew member down to check on his condition and stabilize him. The man was then transported by boat with help from multiple agencies, including the United States Coast Guard. Nazir Spencer, WTMJ News.
The department is warning people to avoid muddy lakefront areas, especially with more rain expected.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky gets overwhelming support for his reappointment. In an emotional Fire and Police Commission meeting, the board unanimously approved the hefty pay increase. Commissioner Linnell Ramy.
I think it's important that Milwaukee learn to take care of its own, especially those who have shown and proved that they're here to serve this community. And you have been a staple of that, right? And I'm appreciative that you wear your heart on the outside of that shirt to show everybody how much you care.
The chief gets another 4-year term with an annual salary of $245,000.
Congress approves a short-term renewal of a controversial surveillance program used by U.S. spy agencies just days before it was set to expire. The program permits key national security agencies to collect and analyze vast amounts of overseas communications without a warrant. Congress raced to send it to President Trump for his signature. The short-term fix sets the stage for another showdown in a matter of weeks.
Coming up, a pitcher makes his big league debut with the Brewers.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5:05.
Most sump pumps only last 7 to 10 years. How long have you had yours? Vince Vitrano for Horner Plumbing. You do not want to wait for spring storms to answer that question for you. My team at Horner can install a new unit or inspect the one you have and make sure it's going to keep your basement dry. No more nervously waiting out storms, hoping you don't lose power. Horner Plumbing can install a battery backup on your sump pump system that will keep running even when the lights are out. $100 off when you tell them Vinny sent you. HornerPlumbing.com.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Appliance Gallery. They are right on Wisconsin Avenue with the most up-to-date luxury showroom in our state. If you've ever wanted to see luxury brands like Wolf in person, they're known for their reliable stoves, bright red industrial knobs, or Sub-Zero, which is amazing. They have customized drawers for different groceries like your fruits and vegetables to help them last longer. It's a restaurant-level fridge. They have Miele, Fisher & Paykel, and more. The best part is that they can work seamlessly with your contractor or designer. So if you want custom cabinets over your fridge or dishwasher, they can do that. Elevate your kitchen. You deserve it. When you upgrade with Just Appliances, the value of your home can go up 3% alone, an immediate return on investment. Head to ApplianceGalleryWI.com. That's ApplianceGalleryWI.com, or stop by Appliance Gallery Showroom on Wisconsin Avenue today.
Sponsored by Redo Cabinets. Don't replace this spring. Reface.
Kitchen remodeling projects consistently rank as one of the most valuable improvement projects in your home.
I'm Mark Olson with Redo Cabinets, here to tell you that we can transform your kitchen into your vision and save you money. Now is a great time to learn about refacing during our spring sales event. During this event at Redo Cabinets, get premium cabinet facings with plenty of options for color, hardware, style, and accessories. And get free premium countertops with every refacing project. Or payments as low as $195 a month. That's right, $195 a month. Call today and book a free, no-obligation consultation. Redo Cabinets, 414-677-6417. 414-677-6417. That's 414-677-6417. Or visit us at redocabinets.com. That's redocabinets.com. Serving homeowners for over 70 years in Illinois and Wisconsin. Don't replace, reface with Redo Cabinets.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. After taking 2 of 3 against the Blue Jays in Milwaukee, the Brewers begin a 3-game series with the Marlins tonight in Miami. Milwaukee enters the day with a 10-8 record. President of Baseball Operations, Matt Arnold.
We have some guys coming back, hopefully sooner than later, but we're hopefully able to get through this, and honestly, I think we'll be better because of it, because I do think it really allows some young guys to get some opportunities here and show what they can do.
Right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe is expected to start for the Brewers tonight and make his major league debut. Coverage begins in less than 30 minutes right here on WTMJ. The NFL draft begins Thursday of next week. The Packers are currently armed with 8 selections.
You lose like a Parsons, a great player. You can't have that. I look at these teams, if on paper, they're as good as anybody on paper, but they got to have their guys out there, and they got to be healthy.
And in case you didn't know who that was, that's none other than ESPN draft analyst Mel Kiper.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:09.
Get 0% interest until 2030. Order by April 30th at PellaWI.com. Wisconsin weather doesn't ease you into spring, it keeps you guessing. One day it's sunshine, the next it's wind, rain, or even snow. That's why your windows and doors have to handle everything in every season. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we design with that in mind. Built for durability, efficiency, and year-round comfort. And right now, we're making that comfort easier to afford. Order today and get 0% interest until 2030. Not just for a short time, no interest all the way until 2030. So you can upgrade your home now and pay over time without even paying a dime in interest. From your free in-home consultation to expert installation, Pella's local team is with you every step, helping you find the right fit for your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, with our 10-year limited warranty, you'll have peace of mind long after installation date. No interest until 2030, but only if you order by April 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 4/30/2026.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Julia Fellow, and in for John McCure, it's Telly Hughes.
All right, Telly, we are currently under a tornado watch at this time. And we're also looking right now in Dodgeville. They are dealing with, according to the National Weather Service, a 1/2 inch to up to a 3/4 of an inch hail that is reported right now. And then, wow, there's a live look of Dodgeville that was only sent internally from the National Weather Service. And there is a low scud in the leading edge cell in Dodgeville. So what that means that it's a low-level cloud that can form independently beneath the main base of the thunderstorm in a large cloud system, which can make its way for possible touchdown. So we're keeping a look at that. But at this time, we can also talk about recognizing another everyday hero. Here's Eric Bilstad with an amazing story.
An everyday hero is when Wisconsin's Morning News celebrates an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Today we head to Detroit, Michigan, where cashier Abdul Rahman Abu Haydam was working his standard shift at the gas station. In comes a guy along with a teenage girl. They walk up to the cash register and ask for a pack of cigarettes. What happened next was strange to Abdul Rahman. He says the guy asked the girl to pay for the smokes.
When he asked her to pay for the cigarette, I said, stop, there's something wrong.
Speaking with ABC 7 WXYZ there, Abdul Rahman thinks to himself, something isn't right about this. Now, he's behind glass. This is one of those gas stations with the protective barrier, the glass there between the cashier and the customers for safety purposes. He's already thinking something strange. Then he makes eye contact with the teenager.
She talked to me like with no sound, help.
She mouths the word help. So what would you do in this situation? Maybe you call 911 discreetly, and maybe you try to get a good look at the guy, or maybe you try to catch the license plate of the car they were in when they came in. Well, Abdul Rahman decides to leave his protective post. He immediately walks up and gets in between this guy and that girl.
I go out, I kick him out, ask the girl to go behind me.
We do have the surveillance video in the story. Just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WDTMJ Talk and text line 855-616-1620. It turns out this girl is a 16-year-old student at Frontier International Academy. 30 minutes earlier, she'd been waiting for the school bus when this guy shows up with a gun and took her.
This is a random incident. That person, a suspect, could have driven anywhere and saw the opportunity and took advantage of it.
It's the police chief there. Officers were already searching everywhere for this girl. They were trying to locate pings on her phone. They were on the case, so they were getting close when Abdul Rahman walked him out of the gas station. That was right when officers were pulling up.
I see the police outside. I point to him. That's the guy.
That guy is now in custody. And it turns out he is not a good dude. He has a bunch of priors, including charges of rape, now thankfully arrested, and thankfully the girl is safe. Thank you to Abdul Rahman Abu Haytham. You, sir, are an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WDTMJ News.
5:15 on WTMJ.
It's April, and if you're one of the over 700,000 people getting your annual Wisconsin Retirement System statement, Annex has something for you. If you have questions about your statement or how your WRS account should work with your overall retirement plan, join our planning and WRS experts on April 23rd for Understand Your WRS Pension Potential, a webinar hosted by Annex Wealth Management's Director of Financial Planning, Eric Strom. We'll walk through your statement, field any questions you have. That's Thursday, April 23rd at 1 in the afternoon. Register at events.annexwealth.com.
Hey everybody, Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings. This year, reclaim your outdoor space like I did. Having the option to extend our awning when that summer sun gets too hot or when it's raining has been a game changer and allows my dogs, husband, and me to enjoy our patio every season. Comfort Awnings is now offering their biggest promo ever. Get up to $1,000 off any awning or screen. That's right, start spring off right and get 10% off up to $1,000 until the end of the month. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or your local CVS.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Truth Nation, it's that time again for the Tory Low Community Cleanup. Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 18th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. as we come together to clean up the city of Milwaukee. Be part of making a difference in our community. The Tory Low Community Cleanup, Saturday, April 18th, 8 to noon. Sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, Steinhoffels, Cousin Subs, Waste Management, and presented by the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, your clean water partner, serving Greater Milwaukee for 100 years.
Traffic is sponsored by Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center. Burghardt Sporting Goods. Visit them today in New Berlin.
5:17 traffic and then weather. Debbie Lazaga.
Yeah, we've got some big slowdowns. 43 southbound really hitting the brakes from just before Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette interchange to the KK River. Northbound slows down from about Lincoln all the way up through the Marquette up past North. Westbound 94 slowing down from about 30th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. Eastbound is backing up from Hawley Road to 35th, where there is a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. So heads up with that. The bypass slowing down from just past Lincoln all the way down and around the Hale interchange to about 51st Street. And then the westbound side of 894 backing up basically from 27th Street to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
All right, this is a special segment for our weather. We have WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copleen joining us live. You can also see him if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620. So I'm taking a look at what's going on with the chatter on the National Weather Service chat, and they're talking about what's going on in Dodge County again. Craig.
Yeah, and I'm really concerned with that thunderstorm right now. So the National Weather Service has just issued a new severe thunderstorm warning for southern, south central Dodge County and northern Jefferson County. So this includes the area near and just north of Jefferson in Jefferson County, up to Lake Mills, further north up to Watertown, and then into southern Dodge County to around Climate. It's a severe thunderstorm warning right now. We show indications of some big hail with this storm and also strong thunderstorm winds. I also see some indications of a developing tornado. Now, the National Weather Service isn't convinced of that enough at this time to have issued a tornado warning for this area. But I have to tell you, there are some indications that a tornado is or is going to be possible with this storm that is rapidly strengthening. So to be real specific, if you're in Lake Mills or Milford, from Waterloo over to Watertown, and then further into Dodge County to Reeseville and Clyman, this is a storm that as it approaches and moves through, you're going to want to watch very, very closely. This could turn very dangerous in a short amount of time. So this severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Jefferson County and southern Dodge County is in effect until 6:15.
Something else we're also keeping an eye on that may come into Walworth County. Do we have a warning right now in Rock County?
We sure do. So we've had a tornado warning with a thunderstorm that's been moving just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois border for the last hour or so. It started way over in Dubuque. That was even longer than an hour ago. And it's been just south of the border ever since. It has now taken a little bit of a turn to the north, and it's crossing the border right at Beloit. So a tornado warning is in effect now for south central and southeastern Rock County until 6 o'clock. A tornado and at least ping pong ball size hail with that thunderstorm is at Beloit as we speak, moving through Beloit right now. It's moving toward Clinton. It'll also be affecting the smaller communities, places like Avalon and Tiffany and Fox Hollow in the next few minutes. So that's a very dangerous situation for Beloit and is relevant to our friends in Walworth County. From Delavan to Darien and Sharon in southwestern Walworth County, you're not under a warning yet, but this tornado-producing thunderstorm is moving in your direction.
Craig, it seems like everything that we were seeing and talking about during the last hour down in Beloit and as far as Rockford, everything seems to be moving northeast, heading right towards southeast Wisconsin. So my question is, it appears that everyone in southeast Wisconsin will experience at least rain, but it depends on exactly where you're located with areas hitting harder than others, correct?
You're exactly right. There are going to be very few, if any, areas in the WTMJ listening area that don't get rain, and some will get some very heavy rain, which may lead to some areas of flooding again tonight, and some will have the potential for tornado touchdowns and or damaging straight line thunderstorm winds. What do I mean by that? Well, thunderstorm winds that are being produced by thunderstorms without a tornado being present. Winds from thunderstorms can exceed 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. So even if there's not a tornado, there could be winds that cause damage to trees and power lines and blow your lawn furniture all over the place. So even folks who get into severe thunderstorm warnings tonight, and not necessarily tornado warnings, could experience some really rough weather over the next couple hours.
Okay, so what's going on in, Beloit, the ping pong ball sized hail?
Yeah, that's a major hail, and
Wow.
there are other storms to the west of there that have been producing some real large hail from around Broadhead over to Orfordville, and the town of Newark. These are smaller communities southwest of Janesville. Also, Monroe in Lafayette County just got some very large. I'm sorry, in Greene County, it just got some very large hail, and then further to the west from there, Dubuque, southward to Bellevue, Iowa. A tornado warning is in effect for there. This is Dubuque's second tornado warning of the afternoon. They were under one of the very first tornado warnings that got issued about 2 hours ago. So Dubuque is getting hit again. And that storm and all the others, as Kelly mentioned, are moving to the east-northeast, all into or eventually into southern Wisconsin.
Do you see that a storm chaser is reporting on the National Weather Service page that there is a chaser that's seeing a lowering in Lake Mills? Do you see that?
Yep, I see that. And so that's an indication of what might be a wall cloud. And a wall cloud is a precursor to a tornado. A wall cloud is a lowering of the cloud base in sort of a defined area. So it's almost like a little rectangular cloud that extends out the bottom of a broader, larger thunderstorm cloud. And it's from wall clouds like that funnel clouds then descend and may eventually touch down as tornadoes. So yeah, if there's a chaser seeing a lowering of the cloud base, that very well may be a wall cloud and an indication that this thunderstorm is continuing its evolution toward producing a tornado.
And then going back to what's going on in Rock County, where you were talking about Delavan to be on the lookout. They were saying that the rotation is not looking as strong. It appears to be splitting. Is that a good sign?
It's splitting in, and we'll see if it's not necessarily a good sign. To answer your question, no. So as the storm splits, we might see new rotation develop east of Beloit as once the storm completes its split, it's continuing to move to the east. And so additional new rotation, which would, for all intents and purposes, I guess, be a new tornado, but it would just be another tornado that is potentially developing out of the same thunderstorm, which split in two.
So here's what we're going to do. It's 5:25. We're keeping an eye on the weather. I'll be here until at least 6 o'clock, but we are expected to go into Brewers coverage, which is always just a nasty time to do that because we don't ever want to go into any Brewers coverage.
Yes, especially when the Brewers are in Miami and not dealing with the weather that we are dealing with
thank
now.
goodness, right? What if it was a home game, Craig?
Well, I was going to make a crack about the roof leaking again, but that wouldn't be very nice.
Hey,
Didn't we?
Sal Frelick loved it.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
Didn't we get past that for several years? Right. I mean, when Miller Park first opened, there was leaking problems, right? For a few years. Telly, you were there.
Yes, I was.
So there were leaking problems for a couple of seasons, and then didn't they go away for a while? And now they're back.
Didn't
they
I
go
had
away
the
for a while?
figures. Yes. I wish I had the figures of, the opening and the closing, just keeping that going. The amount of maintenance just on that part of making it move alone.
Yeah.
Craig, that's too hard of a question for that. Too hard.
Well, he really just wanted to know. He thought we were past this, and just like everybody else. And I thought so too.
Yes,
I thought it was fixed, and that was it. But it might just be wear and tear.
Games.
It just may be wear and tear.
That's probably what it is. I know
Yeah.
I've been at several games for the last several years where it's rained very heavily and nothing's come in. And now it seems like this year and maybe late last year we saw it. Now, don't get me wrong. This is torrential rain. I'm guessing your garden variety average rain probably isn't coming through. That said, all right, I'll get off the rain in the stadium.
Absolutely. We'll get the tarp. Get the tarp out. All right. WTMJ meteorologist Craig Copeland. Craig, thank you.
You're welcome.
528 on WTMJ.
Kessler's Diamonds.
Amy Simonson is the IT administrator with Professional Services Group. They had business technology from a not-so-supportive vendor. Not anymore. They switched to James Imaging Systems.
They come in as a partner. They want to help you. They want to make your business successful.
Including your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
He's always there when I need him. It's always like, what can I do to help you?
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner with great people and more value.
The value is we have the right equipment in the right place. We're getting reliable, consistent service when we need it.
Amy, your advice for other Wisconsin businesses?
I would definitely say contact James Imaging. They are very helpful and knowledgeable and will put you in the right place.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com.
I'm John Mercure. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature sponsored by the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. April is Donate Life Month, a time to honor the generosity of organ donors, celebrate the lives saved through transplantation, and raise awareness about the life-saving difference donation makes. Across the nation, more than 100,000 people are waiting for an organ transplant that could save or transform their lives. Here to talk to us about the importance of organ donation is Dr. Emily Jochum, a transplant nephrologist with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Jochum, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
How great is the need for organ donation?
In about every 8 minutes, another person is added to our national transplant waiting list. Despite all of our advances in medicine, there simply are not enough organs to meet this need. Many patients wait months or even years for the call that an organ is available, and for many, the call will never come. And this really highlights how critical every donation is.
For someone who chooses to become an organ donor, what does that process look like?
You can register through your local DMV or through the Wisconsin State Registry or the National Donate Life Registry. Freighter and MCW patients can actually register through their Freighter and MCW MyChart account. For those who are interested in becoming a living donor, such as donating a kidney, the process begins with a comprehensive health evaluation to ensure that donation is safe for them. Throughout the process, our living donors are supported by our expert care team that is able to answer questions, share options, and fully explain what to expect before, during, and after their donation surgery.
For anyone considering organ donation or maybe in need of transplant care, why choose the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Transplant Center?
We are proud to be a nationally recognized leader in transplant care with decades of experience supporting patients across all organ transplant types. Our program has been performing transplants for more than 50 years, and we have nationally ranked outcomes that reflect the dedication and the expertise of our comprehensive care team. And we've given more than 6,500 patients a new chance at life.
Dr. Emily Jochum, thank you so much for being with us today. For more information on organ donation and transplants, visit freighter.com/donatelife.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing, we're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Penny Mustard is proud to introduce the latest innovation in home furnishings, presenting the single-seat mini sofa.
What are you talking about?
Look right there.
That's not a single-seat sofa.
It has fabric, doesn't it?
Yes.
And it's plush, right?
Sure.
And you sit on it.
Obviously.
So you tell me what that is.
It's Penny Mustard's new line of upholstered dining chairs.
Huh?
It's like something you'd see in a fancy 5-star restaurant.
But they don't look like dining chairs.
Precisely. These unique chairs take your dining experience to a whole new level.
Our upholstered dining chairs are functional, comfortable, and oh so stylish.
They are, without a doubt, the finest dining chairs masquerading as single-seat mini sofas you'll ever see.
Can't argue with that.
The new upholstered dining chair collection, American-made with solid wood and your choice of fabric or leather, starting at $9.16 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Julia, that song only means one thing. Brewers coverage coming up next. They begin a 3-game series against the Marlins down in Miami.
Yeah, and right-handed pitching prospect Coleman Crowe is expected to start for the Brewers tonight, making his major league debut.
Yes.
What I hope we don't have to do is break into the Brewers coverage.
Yes.
But
yes.
if there is a warning that is flashing in our listening area here in southeast Wisconsin, we'll have to do that. But as soon as the warnings dissipate, we'll go back to Brewers coverage. If that happens, here we go.
Celebrate America's 250th birthday with the all-new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack, featuring 4 nostalgic flavors: strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's refreshing, it's bold, it's packed with classic summer flavor, and it's ready to go wherever the party takes you. From barbecues to bonfires, make every get-together a little more blissful with the new Americana Backyard Bliss 8-pack from Carbliss. Pick up your brand new variety pack at your local retailer or go to drinkcarbliss.com to find it near you.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER.